we opened the first Mang Inasal branch at the car park building of Robinson's Mall of Iloilo. But before I tell you what happened right after, let me first take you back 3 months prior to opening the first Mang Inasal. It was in September 2003 that I received a visit from the mall manager of Robinson's Iloilo, who presented me a lease offer I can't possibly refuse. Very early in life, I realized that it pays to have a good reputation, because that's the only reason I could think why I got the first crack of the available location. And another reason also is maybe the mall manager thought, ito bata pa, madaling lokohin. So, I'm not sure. Yes, the lease offer was very attractive, but the offer came with some concerns that can discourage the faint-hearted businessman. Number one, that location has not been rented out for almost 3 years. So there isn't much calculating businessman who'd want to take a risk on a seemingly bad location. While logic dictates me to opt out, the entrepreneur in me told me otherwise. I knew in my heart that the location has so much potential. Number two, the car park is being converted into a food street, and that only food concepts will be entertained for the lease. And the big problem is, apart from being a passionate eater, I know nothing about food. I just can't cook anything. But early on, I've observed that good cooks seem to make bad restaurant owners. Good pilots turn out to be a so-so airline operators. Good singers tend to become bad music label managers. And talented painters seem to make bad art gallery owners. Following that logic, I convinced myself that a career as a restaurant owner shows promise. Since I'm a bad cook, I may become an outstanding restaurant owner. So I gave it a good college try. With the space secured, it didn't take me too long to complete my restaurant concept. Every single detail of it, down to the interiors. It also didn't take me long to realize that I don't have the 2 million pesos I need to carry out the vision. Fortunately, I was a born COL, or a child of lender. You see, I'm privileged to have a very supportive and understanding parents. My parents are seasoned traders and business people. They were, and still are, two of the major influences in my young life. My father is a traditional retailer who started a small store and together with my mother, slowly grew the humble grocery store into a profitable, full-size supermarket that it is now. My first exposure to business and managing an enterprise is when they left me in charge of the grocery store whenever they go on vacations and trips abroad. I was then a high school student when they got a sample of my rather unique and unorthodox management style. On my first crack at managing the grocery store, they almost fainted when they came back and saw the racks, stands, and all the merchandise completely rearranged. Gladly, when they came back, they found my initiative to their liking. I had my own share of amazement when I later found out that what I did was a new business science called store merchandising and category management. Another time they left me to manage the store, I repainted the wall of our food shop with Disney characters. I wanted to give the customers a cheerful ambiance so that diners will be happy to come back too. From then on, my parents look forward to their vacations, eager and excited to see what's in store for them when they come back. Of course, I could not find it in my heart to disappoint them, so I always try to do better each time. So in one of my tours of duty, I ordered a truckload of cement and sold them. We raked in good returns when I sold them at 2 pesos less than the price of the cement sold at the hardware just across the street. I think the grocery of my parents made history that year as the first grocery to offer cement products. Well, the point is, because of that, they trusted my business instincts and trusted me with their hard-earned money to fund my business ventures. That's when I learned how important track record is. Because I established a good business track record with my parents, I was confident that they will grant me my new request for a new loan for my new business venture. Nonetheless, I got my business plan ready and my spiel prepared. More importantly, I waited for the perfect time to present my case to my father. So I called my father on a Sunday when he's relaxed and free from stress of managing the business, and confidently presented my sales pitch to him. I told him about the lease offer in Robinsons Iloilo and informed him of my plans on starting Mang Inasal. I explained that at that time there's a multitude of Inasal restaurants in Iloilo and around the country. None of them runs on fast food concept. After rambling away with my rehearsed justifications and adamantly selling the idea to him, I was taken aback that his only objection to my proposal is the name itself. More surprising to me is the fact that he wasn't concerned that Mang Inasal as a brand sounds good or is catchy enough to warrant interest and recall. He was concerned that all the other fast food companies, particularly Jollibee, Kentucky, and Chowking, have 8 letters in them. He then suggested that I drop the A in Mang and the other A in Inasal, thus making it an 8-letter brand name. Doon ko lang nalaman that my father ay may pagka-fungsoy din pala. So fearing that I won't get the loan if I didn't accede to his wishes, I hesitantly agreed to drop the name and promised to think of a new one. But feeling rather unconvinced by what he wants me to do, I spent a few minutes cracking my head. Then I thought of a compelling counter to his theory. So I called him back after 20 minutes and cited the fact that Banco de Oro has 10 letters too. And it's doing very well. So I guess I've got BDO to thank for retaining the Mang Inasal brand. Otherwise, the Mang Inasal would have been just parang Jejemon. So with the brand name settled and the funding resolved, the first ever Mang Inasal was finally inaugurated on December 12, 2003. And the rest, they say, is now history. But the journey from Mang Inasal's first branch to its 400 was no joyride. In fact, the first few days of Mang Inasal was so stressful and chaotic that I almost quit even before we completed our first week. With barely 2 months to get everything ready, we didn't have enough time to do dry runs and test all aspects of the operations. Having no previous experience in any operation of a food business made the situation more tricky. On the first few days, I found myself stationed on the grill, helping the griller to expedite the grilling process because we apparently built too small a grill to cater to the throng of diners. On the third day, our exhaust system camped out and blew a thick cloud of smoke onto the dining area during the noon peak hour. Baliktad pala ang motor, kaya papasok ang buga. I'm not exaggerating when I say that everyone, and I mean everyone in the restaurant, was teary-eyed and coughing. On the fourth day, our point of sale counter bogged down. And we literally passed a hat to collect the payment, letting our customers just determine how much they should pay based on what they ordered. Honesty system na lang. Oddly enough, we were complaining about the throng of diners who came in to sample our new offering. We had mixed feelings. We're very happy with the turnout, but at the same time, we're praying na wag sana masyadong maraming customer. And all these are happening when I and my wife were just running on our 3 to 4